57 words. So I never did get to submit this one because it was too long. But this is what I came up with. All right, so sobs broke. A wave of familiar tears washed over her, destroying the makeup she practiced all night just to impress somebody at the beauty school. She cursed quietly and tried to salvage it in the rearview mirror until her focus shifted to the road at the end of the driveway. Going left was the same town, same job, same school, and same money from Mama. The idea of going right, though, sent an electrifying sense of relief through her body, unknown but unburdened. She prepared for that. She eased the car down to the end of the driveway and stopped, staring each way for a long while, brushing her fingers across her backpack, already stocked with supplies. The clock pushed further and further past the start of her shift. She gripped the steering wheel and pushed forward. The tires turned right and Crystal disappeared into the dust. She refused to be Mama's baby anymore. So I still am not happy with this ending. It may be a little more impactful because it hails back to the title, but I'm still just not happy with it. So let's create a brand new ending for the other one, okay? We're going to go ahead and just push this down to the bottom so we can ignore it for now. All right, so this is where we're going to start our new ending. Let's delete these because I need to know how many words I have. I have 614 words without an ending. So I have a little over 100 words that I can play with the ending on. So that's great. That's plenty of words in order to get to our ending. So I'm trying to think of the most impactful ending I could do. So I end it with no friends and certainly no home. What home did she have anyway? What home did she have anyway? We're not talking about a physical home. We're talking about a place that she can call home where she can go and feel safe. She doesn't feel safe currently. She doesn't feel like she's appreciated or accepted or like she has her own space. This is all Mama's space. Even though Crystal's paying for it, this is all Mama's space. So what home did she have anyway? I'm going to leave that sentence on its own so it can hold the weight that it deserves. Crystal's birthday was just a few months away. She would be a full adult. She'd be starting school later. So this is not fun for me because Crystal's birthday was. She would be starting school later. At least she would be able to start without Mama involved. So all of this is speculatory. It's just random words that give you a little insight into her history, but it doesn't actually give you insight into who she is as a person or who she is as an individual, as an independent, growing up woman coming into her own. This gives you nothing. So while it is fun to think about her possibilities, it's useless to us as an author. So let's keep these in mind and kind of rehash it in a way that gives her more agency and gives her more decision making in this process. Crystal thought about her birthday a few months away. So simply changing it from saying her birthday was a few months away, we are now back in her head, jumping back in as she's thinking this through. She's making her decision. She has got her thought process going, and she is analyzing and exhausting her independent thinking in order to figure out what she wants to do. Crystal thought about her birthday a few months away. At 18 years old, I almost did it again. I was almost going to say she would have the power, but I don't want to say that. It's fine to use the words would and was, but when you have so few words to work with, you really need to give as much agency to your character as possible. So Crystal thought about her birthday a few months away. Her hand hovered over the middle console where she stashed an emergency $50 one day years ago. Even that's not fun. I want to give her some kind of agency and make it clear that she has some kind of ability to change her situation, but I also want to make it clear that the only way she's going to change is by turning right out of that driveway. So let me think again. So Crystal thought about her birthday a few months away. At 18, Mama's signature didn't matter. So I am using the word didn't, but I still think this is a much more impactful sentence. At 18, Mama's signature didn't matter. This is something a 17-year-old might think to themselves. It's more of an insight into her own thought process, and it's more of a realization of what she is. It's not me feeding you the information. It feels more like she's coming to this realization that in a couple of months, her mother's signature doesn't have any weight to it when it comes to her life. She's legally an adult. She can do whatever she wants. And she's trying to figure out how she's going to utilize that independence. So at 18, Mama's signature didn't matter. Where am I going with this? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters what her convenience store check covers. I'm just wasting time at that point. Resolve grew in her heart. It solidified into action. She had no plan and no safety net. With a firm grip on the steering wheel, Crystal made up her mind. Heart sinking and tears rolling down her face. She turned right at the end of the driveway. Okay. I'm much happier with this. So if she turned left, there was work and money for Mama. Right, there might be school in the future, but no certainties. And we're going to take away the friends, because we haven't mentioned friends at all in this whole thing. They add no bearing, but no certainties and certainly no home. What home did she have anyway? Crystal thought about her birthday a few months away. At 18, Mama's signature didn't matter. And she might be able to make it until then. Resolve grew in her heart. It solidified into action. She had no plan and no safety net. But with a firm grip on the steering wheel, Crystal made up her mind, heart sinking and tears rolling down her face. She turned right at the end of the driveway. So I think that's a much better ending. So as you can see, mamas don't hurt their babies wasn't actually a line I had in this one. So we're going to go back because I want to go over the one that I kind of reworked later on, because there is a much more powerful dialogue set up in that one. It's just I never could narrow it down into something that I could submit to a flash fiction contest. So this one, I like it. I like where it is. It's much closer to the original one I wrote. I think this gives us necessary information without overloading us. And I think at the end, we've changed it enough to where it's a much more satisfying ending. It's not for certain. We don't know what Crystal's going to do with her life, but she's at least going to try and make it on her own rather than wait for her mother to change, even though her mother never will. So save that one. Now I want to go look at the other one. Mamas Don't Hurt Their Babies. All right. So as you can see, this one is 852 words long. There are 102 mini words. So I have to figure out how to cut 102 words out of this. And I'm going to go through it with you and kind of explain the thought process I had with it. Do you want to see my doggie? She's super cute. Look at that doggie. She's also a huge pain, so, if anybody wants a doggy, get your own doggy, because I'm keeping my doggy. But she's a huge pain, and I think it would be a discredit to her character to let you think she's a perfect doggy. So, one of the comments I got from an editor on the previous one was that it felt like Crystal didn't have enough agency at the beginning, and it didn't come through to the reader that she was having issues with her mother about money and things like that. Looking back, I'm not exactly sure how they had an issue with that, but that's not for me to judge. That's just for me to fix. So this is what I came up with after receiving my initial feedback. And this is actually the one where the editor said that she felt like it was just a tantrum being thrown by a 17-year-old rather than a 17-year-old taking agency over her own life. So the microwave beeped and Crystal froze, hands resting on containers of new deodorant, toothpaste, and other necessities in a gray plastic bag. She glanced toward the kitchen door, holding her breath and listening. Nothing. She shoved the necessities into her backpack and crumpled the shopping bag, pushing it down the front of her bra. Wrapping her hand around the hem of her shirt, she opened the microwave door and grabbed the piping hot coffee mug that sat inside. It steamed like a train. She blew soft on it as she walked. So in this one, we can see that there was a little more hiding with Crystal. She has necessities. They're in her backpack. She is hiding them from her mother. But I'm not sure that we really understand that she's hiding them from her mother or why. And you won't know why until later when you figure out that Mama is keeping track of all the money and trying to keep track of it. So in this one, my thought process was that Crystal was keeping some of the money for herself in order to get herself necessities like deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, whatever have you. And that she has to hide those things from her mother so her mother won't find out. So at the end, she has a little bit more of a safety net. But I don't think she really requires a safety net now that I'm reading through it again. And the other one, I think it was more impactful that she left without a plan because she was so sick of where she was. In this one, I think I was trying to give readers the idea that she had been planning to leave for a while, but she hadn't done it yet. And I just don't think that's necessary to get the point across or to understand the character as a whole. So,